You have a winch in case I find a nugget big enough that I can't pick it up.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
All right, Ron's gonna go poke around with the metal detector and see what he finds.
All right.
Find us some platinum nuggets. Look at that guy. Woo! Hey, baby. So our team is checking out a property that has mega potential. We're really excited about what we've seen, how much copper, silver, and gold. So we're on site today, gonna survey the property, take some samples. We're gonna see if there's any potential on turning this into a producing mine. So check it out. This is the stuff we're targeting. We already know about the galena copper sulfide, but they also have this red with quartz, and we're gonna go test that with the XRF and see what's in it and see if this is worth taking to. Copy that. Check that out. Spot to get out of the sun. Got a chair set up and everything to enjoy some shade. Didn't bring the scaling bar.
Yep. You see the quartz?
Yeah, that was one thing I didn't have on my list, was the scaling
quartz
bar.
stringing through. There's two.
Yeah.
Forced to waste right in the middle.
That's wide. Stringers throughout. So this is all the mica phyllite.
Yeah.
Look at that. Don't even need to bring the demo hammer, just picked it out.
Yeah.
Copper.
What's left of it? This whole area. Yeah, I see the pockets in the quartz.
I see manganese banding.
You can see your galenas. There's your copper oxides. You're gonna need some stalls in here for a portal.
Yeah. Oh, that's heavy iron oxide right there. Starting to oxidize.
You gonna do a swan dive?
No, I don't think so. That's not a good idea.
Looks like a brecciated zone right here. So there's a lot of trumpet plants. That shows good mineralization. Then you can see the fine grained phyllite here with mica. And then you start seeing quartz float, iron, and it's outcropping throughout the phyllite up this drainage. So that's worth sampling. Here's some samples that I picked up. We're just getting started. All right, so you see this massive rut? It is right in the middle of the road, and we can't get our side-by-side up here to be able to get our equipment and tools to the working face. I'm gonna take my 5-foot bar, pick, shovel, see if I could do anything to this rut, maybe fill it in, maybe get the side-by-side up there so we can get some tools and start pulling some more.
Well, I'm scaling off, and look at this guy. Got ourselves a rattlesnake. He wants to be left alone. Look at that guy. Woo! Hey, baby. Come on. Gorgeous. What are you doing?
Trying to fix a road.
This road doesn't look very good.
So we got to get this side by side through here. There's some really good ore up there. This is the one section that's just ugly.
Yeah.
And I know it looks awful, but I think we could do it.
Let me go play with the vein.
All right.
Makes a good excuse to stop and rest.
It's a be distracted by rocks, huh?
Yeah, see
Yeah.
the layers and everything.
Look at that mineralization in there. No, we haven't sampled it yet. We're focused on getting this road fixed, and we're almost done.
Yeah, only like 3 more days and we should have it.
At least right here, we'll fill this in maybe another ton, and then we can just continue up with the side-by-side there. So our road's coming along pretty well. Bring the side-by-side up here. It's rocky. Definitely need to fix it one day in the future, but for now it is what it is. We'll get up here. See Ron cutting the road there.
The human bulldozer.
This is new call sign. Then we're just going to cut through here, and then that's it. We built this road, but didn't have time to test it out. So the next time we come up, the road hopefully will still be here, and we'll be able to bring a side-by-side or a quad up and do some more testing. Hey, there's Harry in the wash over there. Not surprised to find a prospector in the wash. Beautiful morning in the Arizona desert. Absolutely awesome.
We're back at the prospect here, and we did a little bit of work yesterday. We kind of cleared a bunch of the muck from where the vein is. You get a lot of these little pockets of reds and quartz. There's copper sulfides in there, copper oxides, some silver. Really want to get after these veins up here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So there's a copper vein that runs on this side, another quartz copper vein with a little more barren running up through here, and we got a third vein that comes through here all the way out to outside the portal. Now I really want to get inside here where the veins are intersecting. There's a little bit of muck in there, but I can't do anything because the porthole is atrocious. All these rocks are fractured, so Chad and I are going to go through and scale. I'm probably going to start up top here and work our way across the porthole and then catch the back so we can get after prospecting. Well, this is down below. There's Chad getting set up.
All right, so now we're up here at the working face. We have our hook points, our anchor points. We have to belay down and scale the face because there's a lot of danger. There's a lot of hazards overhead. We want to knock them off so that we could enter the portal and take some channel samples. Take a look at our rigging. We're around the base of that route. We have our hook point here. Over here we have our anchor point. So we're sharing the load between 2 places. This is 13 millimeter rope, a 7,500 pound strength.
Hi.
And you see Harry down there doing some work. So so Harry, there's a lot of hazards overhead, right?
Yeah, the whole thing's a hazard. we got snakes and rocks, and all we want to do is just get after the ore. So we'll spend what? Days and days working something and finally get on the vein and work it for an hour.
Yep.
You know, that's how it is prospecting.
Yeah, most time is spent setting up. So take a look. We're gonna go ahead and get some scaling done, get these hazards out of the way, and we'll show you the vein. I'm gonna have the camera on my hard hat so you guys can come along for the ride. sure that my crucifix is above figure 8. So start up here by the straps and rigging, because this is, you can knock something else down on yourself. That's no fun. Trying to be safe and you sabotage yourself. I like it.
I do too. Good. I like it. Your weapon.
Weapon of choice. Okay, I'm gonna pull these.
All right, I'll get out of your way here. You know, people get paid to do this on the side of the highway.
And no, I don't have my 12-foot scaling bar with me.
Dang it.
Everyone's gonna ask.
Yeah, well, we forgot it at home.
We forgot it. Oh, it's fractured. Big time. I like over here. Over here is good. Okay, gonna advance to my left.
I think he's having fun. Are you having fun?
Huh?
Are you having fun?
Some of it's fun, some of it feels like work.
Uh-oh.
Just kidding.
You're not supposed to work when you're prospecting.
You know, go ahead and I'm thinking of putting my boot ascender on. I might need it if I don't want to go below this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna power down, I'm gonna reset. And I need my hand ascender. If that big boy goes, a lot of material above it needs to go. So that changes a lot of dynamics. So for my safety, I'm using a Prusik or Prusik, however you say it, depending where you're from, and then figure 8 descender. All right, clear below.
Clear.
Clear. Ready to rock. Gates are locked.
Hold on, before you do anything, let me get that line away from the arm. I got an escape route to the right.
Okay. That way we're not cutting it with the rocks.
Yeah.
Thank you. I like that. I like to double the lock.
Yeah.
I don't like to single lock it.
Yeah. Now he has a tiger by the tail.
There we are.
That's the one. One of many. It's a part just above your hand. It's still connected, so make sure your hand's far away.
Okay. Roger. Okay, heads up.
Look at this one.
So we scaled off the portal entrance, the back. Still doing a little bit more. We feel a lot safer working underneath this now. We're gonna bar down the back as we enter, try to get to that working face and get some channel samples. All right, we've barred down, scaled the face, spent a little extra time barring down in here as well. So this is the vein that we want to sample. It's pretty wide. I'm gonna get a tape measure on it and get an idea. Looks like about 5 feet. And it appears, we're just under 5 feet. Looks about 4'6" right there. And better to measure the narrow part of the vein rather than say, hey, we got 5 foot over here. Well, got the narrow part of the vein, hanging wall to foot wall right here, 4'7". So not bad. This portion of the vein, you have in the hanging wall, this looks mineralized here. This, at the narrowest point, is a foot. And there's a quartz band right in here, pretty narrow, 1.5 inches.
Angry 1.5 inches.
Angry, yeah. Then over here, it pinches and swells. I could see quartz there, another foot. So looking at it, they're both 1 foot. All right, and then, so that would mean in the middle, we're about 3 foot. So, cool. All right, we'll get a sample. All right, Harry is using the XRF to take some assays of the samples that we had pulled from that vein. The one on the left is that 12-inch wide vein on the hanging wall side. This is the horst to waist material. And on the right side, that is the 12-inch wide vein on the foot wall. So what we're gonna do is crush these down with our orbital mill. We're gonna split them, and then we're gonna send both sides off to competing assays. We're gonna have an umpire assay done from 2 different ISO accredited labs. And we wanna get a chemical assay so we know the entire mineral makeup of this ore, and see if there's any values worth pursuing over the whole width of the vein. We are back at the mill site. Just disregard what's behind us there.
Yeah, nothing to see here.
Yeah, nothing to see. Just try to focus on the samples that we brought back. All right, yeah, here we go. So we're gonna take these samples here. We're starting with some grab samples that we're gonna send in for chemical assay. These are some high-grade grab samples that we saw on site, so we're gonna label them as such. This is gonna be our hanging wall. This is a 12-inch wide vein, and we're gonna label it as a channel sample of the hanging wall. This is the material in the middle that we're considering waste, but we wanna prove that out with see if it has any minerals, any values in there that are worth pursuing, and if we should take the whole vein if we ever decide to work this ore body. And on the footwall side, this is a channel sample of the footwall vein. In some areas it looked high grade like this, but most of the material didn't look as exciting, so we're not sure what to expect. That's why we want to send this in for chemical assay. To do that, Harry is going to use the orbital and crush this down to, what do you think?
It'll do minus 1/8 inch.
Okay.
And then that should be good enough for the lab and good enough for us to split.
Then we're going to go ahead and take that material that is from the orbital, the minus 1/8 inch material. We're going to run it through our Gilson splitter, and that Gilson splitter, we're going to have a sister sample on one side that we're going to keep. So if we ever need to do an umpire assay and confirm what one lab did, we have it ready to go, bagged, labeled, and if we want to have a competing assay, it's a good practice to get in. So the orbital is going to crush down to 1/8 inch, and we're gonna have the lab do the final grinding on the sample. So we don't want to try to get it down to 80 mesh or 75 mesh for the chemical assay. We're gonna have the lab do that. So we're just gonna get it down to an initial crush that'll make it easier for them to work with. So on the lab paperwork, we're gonna put grind to 74 microns or -200 mesh for the chemical assay that we choose. This is our Gilson mini splitter that we are using, and it is so awesome to use. You put your sample in there and you're gonna get it split. This thing's got to be level and clean so we don't have any contaminants in there. But this is what I mean by having a sister sample as we're splitting it to be able to send in for assay or to send in for an umpire assay.
All right, all the samples have been processed, crushed down to -1/8 inch, and then properly split. And I have 2 samples from each spot, and I have a sister sample and a sample we're going to send off to a lab. There's a good chance that we're going to send both off to 2 different labs for competing assays for all of our samples. As Chad talked about, we had 2 veins, and then the horse to waist in the center 3 foot of the vein, so 1 foot, 3, and 2 to make 6 feet. And then I went around and I high graded all the spots that had this beautiful sulfide and oxidized copper galena ore. Now, not all of it looked like this, but we wanted to have a baseline of what the high graded looked like compared to the full width of the vein. So I'm going to start scanning each of these. I'll scan each bag in precious metals mode and soils mode 3 times each, so we can get a baseline for when we get the assays back, and it helps us learn what the XRF tells us in the field. So I'm going to get started. And one of the nice things about having an XRF is when you see a rock and you want to know what's on the surface of it, the XRF can come in handy. And we did take the high grade galena and we did run it on the table and we did a concentrate, and I'll show you those results here. So look at that. This rock on this spot is telling me I got 4.5% copper. So that's one spot I scanned. So if I scan over here, where I suspect there's silver, yeah, I'm not picking it up. Anyways, what's nice is the XRF can kind of point you in what direction you want to go, if you want to take a bulk sample or not. But when we concentrate it on the table, these are the numbers we get. We got copper at 30%, lead at 45%, and silver at 0.5%. So that's about 5,000 grams of silver per ton of this concentrate. But we're losing a lot of materials in the number 2s and then off the table as well. And one thing you can be fooled by when there's arsenic is I got a hit for palladium, but I don't believe that. Yeah, so over half a percent by weight of silver, and this stuff would probably need to go to flotation to get a good recovery.
Welcome back. Harry, Ron, and I are with Jerry. Jerry, where are we at right now?
We're in Aguila, Arizona.
So they have a mill where they offer toll milling services, and they're showing us their plant right now. Super impressive. Come take a look.
Awesome.
You get exactly what you have.
Recommend minimum tonnage to run for the system. What's it like considered worth it?
5 tons is probably a decent amount. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put it up in the hopper up here, and then we're running it through the grizzly. And then once we hit the grizzly, it goes up the belt and then goes into the screen. The screen then screens out anything that's large, goes through the rollers, and the rolls takes it up and refeeds it on the belt, and it goes back over the screen and then back up the conveyor belt into the hopper on the top up there. And then that's when after we process all the ore from the hopper here to this hopper here, we'll shut it down and then we run it through the ball mill. And then that ball mill takes it and it adds some water and it takes it to the table, the Deister table over there, and then it processes. And you'll see the separation of the higher quantity of the heavier the weight goes up towards the top.
Okay.
Of the fins.
So your feed size, I noticed you have a grizzly up top, so you're screening out your oversized.
Yeah, it's about
right?
a 5-inch minus.
Okay.
So 5 inches is about. If it's too big, it'll roll off the backside.
Gotcha. And then you have your jaw crusher here, your initial crush.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, grizzly crusher, and then we'll come up here, comes to the screen, then over here to the rolls, and then back onto the feeder, back onto the conveyor belt, over the screen again, and then down onto the belt up to the larger hopper.
I love it. All right, so you're saying that that the water's introduced to the ball mill and then it crushes it down?
Yeah, it crushes it down to about a 125 mesh, and then it goes across the table. Now, if your ore requires a little bit more, you might have to take your concentrate, dry it out, and then process the ore and crush it down to like a 300 to all the way up to 800, depending on what the process is.
Do you advertise your services right now?
No.
Okay.
Right now, no. Just try to take this system right now, get it cleaned up, and just pretty much see what we have out here. So,
Word of mouth only.
Yeah. After we put it through the main hopper, we'll start the ball mill up. And the ball mill here is, she's a good one, but, she still has a little bit of life left into her. Now, when it comes out, it'll come out of, see, your ore, remember, it's going to be crushed.
Right.
All the 5 tons will come out those little screens.
Okay.
So, see, that's nothing in there. And then if it does get plugged up for some reason, we'll open up but usually it doesn't. So.
And it comes out as a slurry, right?
It comes out as a slurry for the table, and it gives you like I said, about 100 to 125 mesh, because you're going to get smaller particles, but you've got to average it out, and I say 125. It'll be 100 or a little bit less than that.
And then that ore gets taken to or diverted to 2 tables, right? 2 dicer tables?
No, we just have the one running right now, and it's a dicer table, and that'll process your ore. Basically, you'll see a line of your different materials.
All right.
Your copper and, gold and all that. So.
Can you show me how you guys deal with your tailings, the water system? Because that's a big area of interest for us in our small plant.
Yes. So basically, after it comes off, it comes in here. This is some tailings here that we have to clean out too. So.
Copy that. Yeah, and then you have your pond there.
What it'll end up doing is when it's on the table, some of your stuff that's reran comes through this tube right here and back into your ball mill and recycles through that hose right there. It goes back through the ball mill, so you're getting some of your material that's running back through your ball mill again.
Makes sense.
So it's recycled.
Just to show you guys how it overflows right through into the pond over here, and then you have a sump pump right here.
Pumps the water out of the.
Pumps the water out.
All done, just pumps the water out.
This is a 1 ton per hour dicer table. Got the mill feeds, diversion plate right here, and then it could go to either table. Every once in a while, an ore body gets overlooked or not developed, maybe because of the size of it isn't a tier 1 or tier 2 or tier 3 large commercial deposit, but it still has significant resources. So don't give up in your endeavors to go out and hunt and search for these mineral deposits. You might be after gold, or you might be after silver or copper or rare earths or uranium, whatever it might be. You got to be persistent. You got to get out in the field and you got to look. So stay tuned for the assay results. Hopefully they come back in time for this video. If not, we're going to release them on a short. Then you can follow up with the video and see where we took the samples and how we processed them and prepared them for the lab. Also, what lab we sent them to and what test methods we chose. If you like this video, crush that like button. Thanks for subscribing, and thanks for watching.